Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and what you just watched there was the first trailer of the new documentary about Bigfoot. And we're proudly sponsored by this documentary tonight, so all the talk tonight's news will be from this documentary. I'm very happy to tell you that we have 3 guests tonight that are going to talk about what Bigfoot is and the limelight and everything that you need to know for this documentary. So these will be topics about in the documentary. This is almost like a sneak peek before the documentary actually starts. So first of all, let's go to Dr. Schmeichel to tell us about what Bigfoot really is. To you, Dr. Schmeichel. Oh, hello, Ryan. See you there. And thank you for having me today. Well, I don't actually dress like this normally. I'm only dressed like this to pop off to the kids, you know what I'm saying? So all the kids can be relatable, yeah. So, kids, don't be scared, because I'm just gonna tell you how he actually looks. Well, so, this Sasquatch is also called the Bigfoot. It's large, it's hairy like my hair, and it's a human-like creature, like me. Yes. And it's believed that it lives in the northwestern areas of the United States and the western areas of Canada. That's where it's been sighted. And some people think it's the ancestor of the abominable snowman and the Yeti. So, they might be relatives. Nobody knows. Well, other traits of this guy is that 1, he's 6 to 15 feet tall. Tall guy, I know. He stands on 2 feet like I do, and has bad breath, am I right, kids? And it emits a high-pitched screech, like a big, fat baby. Yes, a big, fat baby, I said. Yes, a big, fat baby. And what else? Well, its feet prints are 24 inches long and 8 inches wide. That's a whopping Bigfoot. That's how the name actually came to life. And now I'm going to show you some sightings. This is one. Yeah, that's him. This is another one. That's him, yeah. People think that he's a scary guy because of the movies, but this documentary will tell you exactly what he is. Some other sightings that weren't mentioned in the photos were the 1967 California sighting, the Marble Mountain Wilderness sighting. It's a park, and it was sighted there by a family. A 1951 Himalayas sighting, but some people say that might be the Yeti. Nobody knows. And there's been many more in Oklahoma. And some people say Oklahoma is some home of the beast. Got him. Well, yes, that's all I have for you today, kids and everyone else. So thanks for having me again, and back to you, Nico. That was great, Dr. Schmeichel. That was unbelievable. So now that we know a little bit about the Bigfoot, let's go on to our explorer, John, to talk about how did this beast come to life. To you, John. Oh, hello. Yeah, I was actually gonna head out just now because I'm an explorer, but it's raining, so I'm not going to. But the crew people wanted me to explain to the news about how this Bigfoot person actually came to be, you know? And well, that's what I'm gonna do for you guys today. So what happened was the first sighting ever cited was by a news reporter named Andrew Gonzoli in the 1958, where he actually found it and he put it on the news for the Humboldt Times. That's when the first news report, the first media, the Bigfoot was ever in. But it wasn't actually Bigfoot himself. It was his foot. So yeah, that's in 1958. But then the proper photo was taken in the late 1970s by a guy named Roger Patterson. So yeah, so let's say, this guy named Gonzoli, he was actually interviewed about this photo. And when people asked him, why do you take the photo, you know? What do you think of it the first time? Well, guess what he said? Well, he said he wanted a news story. It was all for the Sunday news. That's all he thought of. He was like, you know what? It's a Bigfoot. It's news. But readers, they read it and they were like, unbelievable. They were like, this can be true, This is the truest thing ever. So people actually went out and tried finding Bigfoot. Sadly, they didn't because, he's a sneaky guy. But then, well, what happened after that was some loggers, they go into the woods, They're great in the woods. Like me, myself, I'm also a logger. Yeah. So they found a few more sightings, and that's when the name Bigfoot actually came from. So the name Bigfoot came from more sightings. So it's almost like one sighting led to a chain of more sightings. So that's nice. So that's really when Bigfoot really came in the media from the Humboldt times. And well, that's when people started noticing, really. And that's when the name came from. That's where the name came from. And it was great times for Bigfoot after that. Am I right, Director Don? Yeah, that's all I really got to say for you guys. I still need to go out, even if it rains. But yeah, so thanks for calling me up, I guess. And see you later, news. Back to you, Nico. I have some questions, John, but we can talk about that later. Now, let's go on to the third part of this segment, and that is the limelight, the movies, the documentaries that have happened about Bigfoot, and who better but the director to talk about this limelight. So, Director Don, on to you, buddy. Hello. How's it going, fam lambs? I think you already know who I am. I am Director Don, and thank you, Nico, for introducing me so terribly. But it's fine because I'm here to talk about another movie star, like myself. And this movie star's name is Bigfoot. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you about the movie journey he's been on, the limelight he's been on. It's sort of ended terribly. It's not ended yet, but the latest ones are pretty terrible. But it started pretty nicely too, So, well, it started in the 1950s. When Bigfoot actually came into conversation. They're like, oh, look, there's a foot. There's a foot there. Oh, it's not my foot because I'm size 6. That's a size 30. A foot. So yeah, that's when he became a conversational person. And then people got angry at him because they're like, oh, he's vandalizing. So they wanted to fine him. To find him, they need to find him. So, well, they don't have any proof that he did it, or, well, they didn't find him, so they couldn't find him. Pretty simple there. And then that's when this show came out, called Truth or Consequences, where they took the opportunity of this popularizing character, Bigfoot, and made it into a show to earn more money. It earned money. So what happens is, people have opportunity, to go out and find Bigfoot. Sadly, they didn't find Bigfoot, because if they did, I wouldn't be here tonight. Well, yeah, so they didn't find, but if you get close enough, gold star. But then it closed down. Yes. It closed down later on in the years, because, you can't find it. What's so interesting about it? It's like, every show is like, oh, they go to the woods, they come back all scratched up. There's a bear. Yeah, and then there were more sightings of this creature. There were more feet around the place. And they're like, oh, it's a hoax. The sightings were fake. Bigfoot is fake. And then that's when people said no. And created documentaries to show that Bigfoot is real. And that's when Bigfoot changed. The documentaries were so popular that Bigfoot became so popular. And that's when movies were made. The first few movies showed this Bigfoot guy as a scary predator, right? The bad guy of the story. But then in the late 80s, it showed a kinder Bigfoot. the one that fights for nature, that fights as an environmentalist, the good guy in this. And he was a symbol of nature in the 80s, right? And then it took a wonky turn, because after that, people were like, you know what? He's so friendly. He's friendly enough for kids. And that's when they made cartoons. The cartoon days! Yeah. And that's when most movies now, right now, are movies that have cartoons with Bigfoot. And well, Bigfoot is the protagonist, which is a good thing in Bigfoot's case. But cartoons, really? But yeah, so it's nowadays it's cartoons. I don't appreciate it. That's why I made this documentary. Very raw, you know what I'm saying? So please watch it in the theaters. And yeah, I guess that's all I have for you tonight, fellas. Yeah, that's all. So thank you for having me. And bye-bye. That was very amusing, Director Don. So now we're going to talk about the money business involved with this beast. So the money first started off in the 1950s with a show where they offered everyone $1,000 to actually prove the existence of this Bigfoot. That's when Bigfoot was pretty popular at the time. And then slowly it closed down, sadly. But then, the latest news that I'm bringing you right now, today, is that Oklahoma State Representative Justin Humphrey attempted to start a tourism campaign for this beast, but sadly it failed. It couldn't get passed by the city, and well, the whole campaign stopped. But that didn't stop the people. The people liked the idea of this thing so much that instead of a campaign, they started a hunting season. And this season is where people go out and try actually capturing Bigfoot. And whoever did it got a bounty of almost $2 million. $2 million! But the rules are, you have to capture, but you can't kill. It has to be alive in order to bring it to Oklahoma. And the bounty hunting is called Sasquatch Quest. And I think it's a really good thing to do, actually, because Oklahoma is the home of the beast, and if someone actually captures this beast, $2 million. Rich in days. So, that's all for this segment. Hope you catch this beast if you're in Oklahoma. And thank you for watching Late Night News.